went total vegetarian, a lot of juicing. He did a colonic every day. He did a detox bath every day that we'll talk a little bit later. And 3 months, thing was gone. No knife, So that gives you an idea. Another singular enzyme is called amylase. Amylase is an enzyme that breaks down carbohydrates. The protease breaks down proteins to amino acids. The amylase is the one that breaks down carbohydrates to glucose. They're simple sugars. A lot of people are amylase enzyme deficient, and those that are the ones that have respiratory problems, allergies, joint problems. Those are the amylase enzyme deficient people. If they get a bee sting and they swell up like a balloon, amylase. It's an amylase enzyme deficiency. I had an individual that was about 35 years of age. He was extremely allergic to bee stings, and he had to carry the medication kit with him, because if he got stung by a bee, he had to take the medication right away. If he had 3 bee stings, he was dead. He was real scared of bee stings. And his parents owned a beekeeping business. And he was afraid. He was afraid because they were getting ready to retire, And guess what they wanted to do? They wanted to inherit it and give it to his son to take over the business. He wasn't too excited about it. No, true story. And anyway, he asked me the question, can this help me overcome that, that challenge or that deficiency or whatever? And I says, well, I haven't seen this miss yet. I would say if I was you, before you inherit that business, I would slam these, I would take the multiple enzymes with my meals, and I would take the amylase and cellulase between the meals and build that system back up and take care of that deficiency. And if I was you, I'd be popping 20 of those amylase 3 times a day for the next 6 months before you inherit that business. And he took 10 probiotics morning and night to reestablish the flora, and he got off the pork and beef and got into like fish and chicken, because he wasn't ready to go total vegetarian, but that's okay. And he got more vegetables in his diet, started drinking some juices, got off the pop, quit the coffee, and got his health back together, But thing I think was really amazing, that I was really impressed with, was when he did inherit the beekeeping business, he got stung by a bee. And he thought, if Lou was right, I shouldn't have to take the medication. He took the chance, and he didn't take the medication, and he swelled up just a little bit like anybody else would, and that was it. And he didn't suffer. He thought, wow, this is cool. So then he started, believe it or not, but he started doing seminars just like this, teaching people about enzymes, because he realized he had a deficiency, he took care of the deficiency, and he changed his life, and now he has a handle on it, and he doesn't have to worry about bee stings anymore, you see? He boosted up that immune system, and got it strong again, took care of the deficiency, and got back into a balanced, harmonious life, and he got a handle on life. And he didn't have to walk around with fear of getting stung by a little stinking bee. You know what I'm saying? I mean, isn't that something? A little bee can scare you that much to the point where it can kill you. I mean, we shouldn't be afraid of bee stings. I mean, a little thing like that, take you out. I mean, that's, what a way to go. Yeah. And you know what? I got stung by 100 of them. I walked into a nest, and they stung me really bad all over my whole body. Never got sick, never felt nothing. Nope. I mean, I got a little swelling in each spot, but I had a big T-shirt that kind of just went over me, and they came underneath my pants, stung me all over my legs, underneath my body. I mean, I was stung all over the place. They were in my hair, my face, my neck, everywhere. You know what I did? I didn't tell you this before, but multiple digestive enzymes, it comes in capsule, powder, and chewables. The chewables are here, but it doesn't tell you about the powder. I went in the house, and I took 3 heaping tablespoons of powdered enzymes in some water and a little bit of juice, mixed it up real quick, slammed it down, and then I jumped in the bathtub with 4 tablespoons of ginger root powder, a cup and a half of sea salt, and a cup and a half of baking soda, and I just soaked and sweated like crazy, and then rinsed off with cold water, and I was ripping. Never got sick, never felt nothing, just got back to normal, went back to work outside. Isn't that something? I didn't have to go to the hospital, nothing. Just, what did the enzymes do though? The enzymes went into the system, into the bloodstream, and did what? Digested what? the venom, the bad stuff. Digested it right out. And get what? Now, I didn't have protease at the time, but if I had protease, I would have taken the whole bottle right then, right now. A lot of the bites and the insects that we get, stingers and all that, a lot of it's protein. Most people don't know that. And what does protease do? Break down what? Protein, right? Break it down. If you get high concentrated protein in your system and it's too concentrated all at once and you cannot digest it quick enough, guess what it turns into to you? What is it to you? A poison. It's a toxin to you. If you just know what I'm talking about, you can rectify a lot of things. Okay, what's the next one? Superfood. Superfood, that is where they're taking wheatgrass, barley grass, alfalfa grass, carrots, beets, vegetables, herbs, cut them, juice them, spray dry them into a fine powder, into a capsule, and you generally take 5 or 6 twice a day, and it's done. It's over. It's like a big salad in a capsule, in a few capsules. It's highly, highly concentrated. So that's why they call it superfood. When you take 5 or 6 twice a day with a glass of water, it's like drinking a big glass of fresh juice down your system. It reconstitutes. So it's very, very concentrated, but it's very, very good for you too. So if you want to make sure you're getting plenty of phytonutrients, antioxidants, chlorophyll, vitamins, minerals, aminos, and all that from a superfood complex, think about this just for a second. What does cows and all these big animals eat? They eat a lot of grass, right? And that's all they eat, just grass, and then they grow up to be big animals, right? They got a lot of muscle, bone, and everything else, right? I mean, grass, that's all they eat, right? So what they found out was when they take these grasses and they cut them and they juice them and spray dry them, highly concentrate them into a capsule, and you just take a few every day like that, you're going to get a lot of aminos, chlorophyll, vitamins, minerals, enzymes, phytonutrients, antioxidants, all at once. And it feeds you on a cellular level. Most people do not take the time to eat enough salads, vegetables, and greens and all that kind of stuff enough. Because the kind of greens most people eat today is very minute compared to what they really need to sustain themselves. So as an insurance policy, see, when people eat salad, what kind of salad they usually eat? Iceberg lettuce, right? It's not very green, is it? There's not much nutrients in that stuff. But this here is extremely rich and high in chlorophyll, the green stuff. Most people don't eat enough greens, right? So this is a way to help compensate. If you do not take the time to eat big hearty salads like I do most of the time, then this is kind of like the next best thing you can do to kind of help to offset that, to make sure you're getting plenty of greens and vegetables in your system to help feed you on a cell level. Because if you're not doing that, you're going to pay. Because that means you're not going to get what you need to make sure you're manufacturing hormones, enzymes, and feeding the body on a cellular level so that you can manufacture not only the hormones and enzymes, but also to regenerate the organs and the glands to create and secrete the necessary nutrients that you need to manufacture all these other nutrients. And what's the other one? Metabolic accelerator. I would put a big X on that one because I don't advocate it, I don't use it, and I don't tell anybody to use it because I don't believe in it. Why? Because they have what they call an adrenal extract in that product, and I've been able to help so many people without using glandulars. Now, there's some doctors, there's some specialists out there that really push glandulars on people, but I don't need to use animals and glands and all that to help people. So I don't use this stuff. If I don't take something, I don't advocate it. I only advocate what I'll do myself. If I'm not going to use that, I'm not going to teach it, or I'm not going to advocate it. That's the way I do it. That's the way I do things. Okay. Now, they do have a goal in mind to create a plant-based metabolic accelerator, and what people were trying to use this product for was to lose weight. What it's supposed to do is to accelerate the metabolism so you don't get as hungry and you're more satisfied and happier, and you end up losing weight. But you know what? It's not a real hot seller, and it's not really doing the job. So I'm not backing it. So if I was you, I'd put a big X on it. What?
Detox Craft, I'm sure you're familiar with him. He's an endocrinologist, and he says that anything hot or spicy, which cayenne pepper actually accelerates as an natural accelerator of our metabolic rate.
Do you remember the lemon ginger cayenne drink? Okay, ginger's hot, cayenne's hot, and remember when I talked about how it stimulates and accelerates the circulation? But it also does that. It also enhances the metabolism. It stimulates the digestive system and enhances the metabolism. It actually speeds it up. So that's why I told you it helps to get rid of fat, mucus, viral bacteria and yeast infections and all that kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? So I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you. But she's right, and so is Deepak Chopra right. Cayenne does help to do that. But there's other herbs that help to accelerate the metabolism. Enzymes help to enhance metabolism too, because what is enzymes doing? Digesting what? All this stuff, all this waste. Remember the Valdez oil spill up in Alaska some years ago? What did they spray on the water that was natural, safe, effective, and ate up all that oil and broke it all down? What was it? Do you remember? Enzymes. Well, what if you knew that these enzymes can do the same thing inside your body and start digesting, breaking down the excess fats, protein, plaquing, mineral deposits, and start getting rid of that environment that the parasites live on, so that as you get rid of this environment, guess what goes with it? The bad boys, they leave too, because they will not stay in a clean body, see? What's another one? Nutritional Essentials. Nutritional Essentials is that protein complex that was in your drink tonight, the second drink you had. It's a rice bran protein complex. They put other components in it to balance out the 22 amino acids. It also has your tocotrienols in there, which are your essential fatty acids. It also has your carbs in there. And it's balanced out in such where it'll give you what you need to sustain you. The only reason I like to put a cup or so of sprouted almonds is because it'll give you a more complete and more abundant amount of protein complex, as well as the essential fatty acids, carbohydrates, and it will hold you for hours into your day. You know, I mean, like you make that drink 3-4 hours into the day, you're satisfied. You're not hungry for anything because you're satisfied. You're feeding yourself on a cell level, and you will go further without tiring. And you're taking something highly concentrated into your system that gets easily digested, metabolized, and utilized, and fed on a cell level, and you'll run efficient. That's the whole key about longevity. Eat whatever you eat that gets utilized, metabolized, and utilized, and delivered into the cells, and eliminate the waste, and run efficient. That's the whole key. That's why the people that live the longest, they eat less, get more out of what they eat, and they go further without tiring, and they last much longer. Most people today are eating way more than the body really needs. But the reason they eat more, and they keep eating more and more, is because they're not digesting it, so they keep trying to eat more volume to get more of what their body's requiring to make up for what they're not getting. But the problem with that is that you end up trying to process it all, and it starts backing up in your system, and it becomes toxic. So it's a catch-22. But what if you could put the fuel into the body that can get easily digested, metabolized, and utilized, and delivered into the cells and eliminate the waste and run more cleaner, more efficient? Do you think that would make more sense? Do you think that what if you could stay lean, clean, and serene, if you know what I mean, right? And run more efficiently, and feel better, do better, look better, last longer, go further without tiring. They talk about that in the ancient scripture. They talk about how people can go further without tiring, into the future. And that's us, folks. We can't have that. We have the ability to do that, but we have to have the knowledge first, and then we can take action and then do it. And so anyway, what's the next one? Pro 5, probiotic. That is another probiotic. That's a let's see. I don't see the one that I, the one that I gave, was it Irene? Or Rena? Rena. I gave some to Rena. Well, that was probiotic blend. This one here is Pro 5. They don't have the probiotic blend in here. It should have been, though. You might write it in there. That's the one I use. That's the one I advocate. The Pro 5 is a good one, too, though. But the Plantarum salivarius, one that I talked about earlier, the one I gave Rena, that was just 2 cultures in it. They call it Probiotic blend. It's got Lactobacillus plantarum and Lactobacillus salivarius. It's a very powerful, good tasting, friendly bacterial culture. 2 cultures, 2 strains. But the advantage to it is that it's been patented, it's been proven, documented to be antiviral, anti-tumoral, antibacterial, anti-HIV. It's a very powerful probiotic that is proteolytic, meaning that it digests proteins. And that's very exciting because anytime you can digest undigested proteins and convert them to usable amino acids, it's very exciting. In case you didn't know it, you have right now in your bodies undigested protein that's trapped in your system because you've been eating a lot of dead proteins for some time now that are trapped in your system. Not all of the proteins that you've been eating has been completely digested, and that's what this probiotic does. It actually will digest and convert that undigested protein trapped in your system and convert them to usable amino acids, proven, documented. That's exciting. Most probiotics cannot do that and don't do that. And this has been proven, documented. It's patented. That's exciting. And one of the things that you may not know, but cancer and tumors, it's undigested protein accumulated in the system and it mutated to cells. And that's all it is. That's all cancer really is. It's undigested protein that rotted in the system, putrefied in the system, accumulated in the system, mutating cells, and sets you up for cancer. All it is just trash. It's just junk in your system. That's all it is. It's just a toxin. And people scare you, out there, they tell you, oh, cancer, you got cancer. But really, all it is just a toxin. It's just an undigested protein. All you got to do is digest it, metabolize it out of the system. So what can you do? Well, there's an enzyme called protease that breaks down proteins to amino acids. That's one good thing to do. Probiotic blend. That one has the 2 cultures. That one there is proteolytic, breaks down proteins, converts them to usable amino acids. Would that be a good one to take, especially if you have undigested proteins trapped in your system? Most people, when they go to the bathroom, it stinks. It's kind of putrefied. It's rotten. It smells like something died. Well, it did. It's putrefied. It's rotting. So what can you do to offset that? Take probiotics at nighttime before you go to bed. Start putting that flora back in your intestinal tract, and that's what the probiotic blend does. Now, the Pro 5 has 5 strains in it, and it's a good product. But if I was going to take a product, I like the probiotic blend more because it's more aggressive. And it doesn't mean that this is a bad one. It's a good one. It's a fine one. And you can take a few of them every night before you go to bed. A lot of people like that one. Personally, I like the other one. So you can make your choice. You can try both of them or whatever. But the Pro 5 does have Plantarum salivarius in it with 3 other cultures in it, other strains. And they're good for you, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that I'm a little more aggressive about the strains I take, so I like the probiotic blend. That's just my what do you call it? My preference. So you make your own choice. But generally, a healthy person will take 2 or 3 with each meal. Before they go to bed on an empty stomach, or if they forget, they can take it in the morning, first thing with a glass of water, empty stomach. That's the best time to take a probiotic. First thing in the morning with a glass of water, or right before going to bed with some water. Those are the 2 best times. Or empty stomach. And remember what an empty stomach is. An hour or more before meals, or 2 hours or more after meals. What's the other one? Sterols? Sterols. Sterolins are plant fats. And they discovered in Africa that there was a wild potato out there that had a lot of sterolins, plant fats. And they discovered that if they would dry this potato, powder it, put it in capsules, and give it to people, it actually would enhance the integrity and quality of their health, and it actually helped them with certain conditions, okay? And they actually clinically tested it, and it was like, wow, this is amazing. So they call it the African miracle, right? Then they found out after some time that if they take seeds, certain seeds that have high plant fats in them, high sterolins, they soak them, sprout them, germinate them, and then dry them into a powder and encapsulate them. They found that they're 3 times more have 3 times more sterolins in the sprouted seeds that have been dried and powdered into the capsules, more than the wild potato. So the results are even higher. And so I've had people take sterolins that NCP carries, and they have told me energy's increased, they feel better, their conditions are recovering quicker, that kind of thing. It's one of those kind of things that enhances you. But I'll tell you what, if you do what I'm saying to you, and you take a cup of sprouted seeds twice a day, I don't care if you do it by a smoothie or a dressing or put it in your food or just eat them like that, I don't care how you do it, a couple cups a day, it's going to take you to another level. I assure you. You won't have to take sterolins. But if you're not going to take that time to do that, then you might take 3 or 4 of those a couple times a day then. Very concentrated, very good for you. You know what I really hope for you to do? I hope that, okay, thanks. I hope that you will eat as much fresh fruits and vegetables organically as possible, drink some fresh juices, sprout seeds, and do it as much as you can. Eat as little cooked food as possible. Take as little supplements as necessary, and try to eat and live in a way that you don't have to take any supplements at all. I mean, that's what I'm shooting for, you know. I'm shooting to get that piece of land again, like I had once before, live off the land again, and live completely organic, and eat from rich soil, rich food, life food, and sprout all my seeds and live like that, like I've done before, you know. But you know, I travel and I socialize and all that, so I do eat a little cooked food, but I don't eat much of it. But there is a few things that I take in here. The biggest things that I take in here is the multiple digestive enzymes. I take the probiotic blend. I take a few of those at night. I do take the nutritional essentials with sprouted seeds. Those are my main 3. And occasionally I'll take the superfood complex. If I don't eat that big hearty salad I usually do, then I'll go ahead and slam the superfood, because it is very good for you. Okay, that's basically what I use. I don't use everything that's on here, and you don't need to use everything that's on here. Why am I talking about all these things for you? Why? Because some of you are not where I'm at right now, and some of you might need some of these things. And if I don't tell you about them, you're not going to know about them, and you're not going to know how to use them to achieve what you want. And because some of you need some of these things that I don't need anymore, right? But at one time, I needed the bowel toner, you know, and I needed some of these other things at one time. Where's the other one? Let's see. The next one was Herbal Digestive Blood Formula. Oh, that's a real good one. The Herbal Digestive Blood Formula, that's good to detoxify your blood and your bowels. And so if you take 2 in the morning, 2 at night for a while, you know, and just do it 5 times a week, give yourself a couple days to rest your organs and your system. Because when you're doing herbal therapy, you don't want to take them every day. They're more effective if you take them, 3, 4, 5 days out of the week, and give yourself 2 or 3 days of rest, and then go back on them, you know. But if you'll take the blood formula, you might start off with just 1 in the morning, 1 at night, the first week. Kind of work your way up, because it will start detoxifying you. It will detoxify your blood and your bowels. Start moving things, start cleaning you, detoxifying you. I can tell you right now, if you took 10 3 times a day, you would get so sick you wouldn't like the experience. Yeah. Okay, but if you just take 1 in the morning, 1 at night, the first week, the second week take 2 and 2, the third week take 3 and 3, the fourth take 4 and 4, the fifth take 5 and 5. Just slowly work your way up like that, and just do it 5 days a week, and rest on Saturday and Sunday kind of thing, and do it with a glass of water each time. If you want to take it with some enzymes or probiotics, I don't care, that's fine. But if you do that, you will start slowly but surely working on cleaning your bloodstream and your bowels and clearing things out. You know what I'm saying? It's a very good one, and people love this one. I've had people that are so sick and so full of disease come back and tell me they love that product for what it did for them. I don't have time to tell you the story about this, about what it's done for people, because there's just so many neat things I could tell you, but it's a good one. I wouldn't go more than 10 and 10 though, because you don't need to. If you ever get to 10 and 10 and it doesn't make you sick, or you don't go through detox, you just feel really good. But you could have a major clean out when you do that many. Milk thistle, that's really good. Now you have some people out there that have a sluggish liver, and a lot of people I wish I could use a sample. Oh, here's one right here. What was your first name again? Excuse no, this guy. Roland, would you mind if I use you as an example and kind of show you a couple? Okay, I'm going to check pressure points. You mind if I do that just for a couple quick? I only have a few minutes, so if you can come up quickly, I'm going to show you something about the liver. Very powerful. And see, most people don't know this, and I don't know if you're familiar with kinesiology, muscle testing, that kind of thing. I don't put all my eggs in that one basket, but this one here is going to kind of give you an idea how it works. Let's see. Yeah, if you can stand just like me right here in this spot, right there, so they can see. Okay, let's see. Go like that. Can you do that with this finger? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to try to separate your fingers. You resist me, okay? Okay, he's pretty strong, okay? Okay, now take that hand and go like that. No, like this, yeah. And then now with that hand, go underneath your rib cage like that, underneath that rib cage. Okay, make sure you get it under there now. Let's see. Right there. Okay, right there. Let me have it for a second. Okay, right there. All right. All right. Now you resist me just like you did before. Rowan, right? Yeah. Okay. Resist me. Okay. All right. Okay. Resist me again. Okay. I'm not straining very much. Okay. Okay. Now relax. Rest. Erase everything. Right. Okay. Now resist me again, just like you did before. Focus. Ready? Okay. Okay. He's pretty strong right now. But you notice when he plugs in right here, what happens? He just kind of like opens up pretty easy. Do it again. Okay. You feel the difference? Okay, now put it right there. Okay, heart's acting good. Put it right there. Okay, let me have it for a second. Let's see. Okay, right there. Feel the difference? Opens up pretty easy. Mm-hmm. Can I take that hand and go like this? Can you do it again? Okay. Kidney's acting good, see? On that side. Heart's acting good. But the gallbladder, liver, sluggish, right? You feel the difference though? Mm-hmm. Truly?
Yeah, true.
Okay. Now, what's your wife's name?
Marie.
Marie. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about words now. Say Marie.
Marie.
Oh, he loves you. That's great. Okay, now...
supposed to keep my hand here?
Relax it. Say, say Jesus.
Jesus.
Say Satan.
Satan.
Say Jesus.
Jesus.
You feel a difference though. What I'm trying to show here is that if you say something positive or something out of love, you have strength. If you say something negative or something that's evil or bad, it weakens your electrical matrix and it weakens your whole system. Did you feel the difference though? Truly?
Truly.
All right. If you have an organ that is running weak, sluggish, opens up easy.